What up, Dub? Welcome to Postgame Podcast. I'm your host, June, and Foster has me blogging on a Sunday. and not just the final initial reaction, 5 minutes. This is a full-blown blog. Foster got me working on a Sunday, man. It's kind of wild, bro.
Get to work, man.
Man, it's just might as well, man. I mean, when you said we needed to do a show before Thursday, I can't lie, I was all for it. Watching those two games over the weekend, I was ready. Like, it's an 82 game season, and you can't just get up, get excited and do a show every game. It's 82 games. But when after last night's game, I was ready. We could have turned the cameras on then.
Yeah, low key. Low key.
The Pistons did not beat the Bulls all year last year.
I believe it. They ain't beat anybody last year. So.
I mean, I know that for a fact. Like, I don't have to look it up, this, that, and other. I remember the first game was versus the Pistons, I believe, and it was a very close game. And it didn't get any closer in any other meetings. And then we played them like a couple of times the first 2 weeks, and it wasn't close. So after last night's game, Foster was like, hey, man, we need to do a show. So we are here. We'll review not only last night's game, but we'll talk about the game in Charlotte Friday. And that too was a very, very good game down to the wire. Now the Chicago game was closer than the score appears. It broke away. The game got away from them late in the fourth. It was one of those last runs because they hung around. They hung around. And in the fourth, I think they cut the lead down to 6 at one point. But where you want to start, Foster? Where are we going with this?
I mean, we can definitely talk about. We can start with the Charlotte game. Because there was definitely some things that we were looking to see. Because after the Miami game, we obviously weren't super low on the Pistons. It was a close game. Mm-hmm. Miami's a really good team, but there were definitely certain aspects that we wanted to see improve over the next few games. And I feel like we kind of saw it, but it's encouraging that we won both games regardless,
We're a missed shot away from 3-0.
For sure.
Miami was 102-103 and with a chance to win at the last possession with 2 seconds left. I mean, you get a foul, you get a shot, you win that game. So going into, and they always seem to have a little bit of trouble with Charlotte. I don't, maybe when Miles was there, maybe that was the big difference.
Yeah.
When Miles Bridges was in the lineup. But one thing for certain is I was worried about that Rozier cat and LaMelo. The ball cat. I was worried about those two. And we discovered Brandon Miller's going to be pretty good at some point.
Oh, it was, we developed a little rivalry in all of that.
Yeah. He's going to be pretty good. He's athletic. He is not scared. He shoots the three, and he finishes very, very strong. So, and I think it was more so Washington, and Washington had a good first game with Charlotte. Washington and Stu had words a couple of times.
Yeah, he ended up getting ejected.
Wound up getting ejected. The first time Stewart had a problem with Miller, and then Washington came over and they kind of squared off a little bit. So it was a bit chippy early and it got chippy late. And one of the things, what was the biggest thing versus, if you can remember, Foss, what was the biggest thing you took away from the game versus Charlotte that you love to see?
The defense. I mean, as far as LaMelo Ball, I think he ended up scoring 20 plus points, but he just made a whole bunch of free throws. Ball shot 23% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
He does a really good job of getting downhill and putting pressure on the defense, but ultimately he really didn't score a lot of points. A lot of his points came through free throws. Outside of that, this was a game that Cade, I think Cade only scored 17 points because he was in foul trouble. I feel like a lot of, well, I think Thompson had 5 fouls and
Yes, he did.
Cade fouled out. Was it that
Cade
game that he
fouled
fouled
out?
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's one of the things that's been kind of making me pull my hair out is that they have committed a lot of, a lot of fouls. But yeah, we kind of had to get the job done using our bench. Our bench scored a whole bunch of points. And I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme. I almost look forward to when we get to the bench because we do have some firepower off the bench. We have Burks. Ivy had a good game against Charlotte. He did not so much in the second game, but he had a pretty good game versus Charlotte. Bagley.
Burks.
Burks.
Sniper.
Burks is looking like it's playing like all-star right now.
Sniper.
Great shooter. But Bagley has started to show, earn his keep. I mean, he was hurt he got hurt in the preseason last year, so he didn't even start the season with the playing last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as long as he's healthy, there's just certain things that he's gonna provide for this team as well. But yeah, outside of that, the defense and Asar Thompson he's continuing to get his feet wet. He's pretty good, creating for others off the dribble. But his defense amongst beyond anything else, his defense has been great for us. And that's literally, that's been a godsend for us is him being a wing defender. Like it's the reason why Sadiq Bey was very expendable when you break it, when it's all said and done. So yeah, as far as the Charlotte game, that's the main takeaways I got.
Turnovers. Turnovers. They are really, really. We talked about this after the first game. And the second game versus Charlotte, it was really bad. First half was really bad. I think they had 19 or 15. It was in the teens as far as turnovers in the first half. I think it was 15 turnovers and they wound up with 24 for the game.
Yeah. It always slows down in the second half for whatever reason.
Yeah, and it's like it's careless. It's like careless. Now, if you travel and turn the ball over, that's one thing.
Okay? Even then,
it's
Stu have a couple of those a game where he's still getting his footwork down. He's doing and he's shuffling his feet. Those are annoying too, though.
Well, the difference is between that and a bad pass
is that doesn't create
you're creating a break. If you get a violation that you stop, you get a chance to get set, they have to take the ball out.
Absolutely.
So when they're throwing bad passes, because they all do it, Cade, Asar, more than anything, I've seen him.
Duran has a whole bunch of them.
They turn the ball over and it's like they must not be worried about what Monty has to say.
Might
Because as
be
a
chilling
coach,
though. He be chilling on.
it got to be, because if you think about it, the disciplinarians, they're not having that. You're not going to turn the ball over and continue to play. You're just not. And from what I saw and what I've been seeing, the Pistons have a pretty deep roster of people that regularly play.
Yeah, the
Like,
rotation is pretty big. Yeah.
you can say, okay, you can argue the record and say in the past they don't have that, but after that starting five with Cade, with Killian, Thompson, Stewart, and Duran, you bring in Bagley off the bench. You got Joe Harris. You know what I'm saying? You got Sasser. You know what I'm saying? You have Alec Burke. You know what I'm saying? Those are not you're 9 deep already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a pretty deep roster for you to say, hey, come sit down, young man. You just threw the ball away 2 possessions in a row. You know what I'm saying? Just sit down. But I'm liking what All-Star is doing out there. Thompson is he's a gamer to me. Like, once he finds a shooting touch or find some sweet spots on the court where he's comfortable, he could be kind of dangerous, man. What up, Gabe? I'm gonna read this for my listeners. Cade and Duran look like future stars. Pick and roll is going to be even more unstoppable with space, and that is truth.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit with both their IQs, and their defense is real. The defense, they're playing defense. I told you, Foster, in the middle of the game, me and Foster are texting each other back and forth, and I'm saying, man, this lineup has a potential to be very good defensively, because they have the wingspans on the guards and the wing spot. You look at Killian, 6'5" guard, Cade 6'6", 6'7", Thompson 6'7", and he's on the ball, and they're active. They are active. They are getting steals. You got Stewart. He's very, very good defensively. And you're starting to see Duran. I'm gonna read this other one too. And I appreciate this, Gabe, for you commenting. We wish we can get more people to comment and check in on the YouTube. But Sir has a very high IQ too. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Young guy, yeah.
For him to be so young, and like I said, it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better. Like, once he finds his sweet spot, a go-to move, or anything like that, it's gonna be trouble. I'm telling you, he's a very good pickup. Andrew Gross says, biggest thing this year is that I trust this team to get a stop when they need one. When was the last time you felt like that with a Pistons?
Bro, I don't even know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you need a stop, like, we have not. I can't remember. Maybe when 2006, 2007, maybe.
Yeah,
It's been a long.
It was like the end of the Ben Wallace era, maybe. Like, I don't know.
When Ben Wallace was playing is when you needed to stop and you trusted your defense, man. Gabe says Duran has taken a huge leap defensively as well. He looked lost at times last year. They were hesitating and passing when he was protecting the rim yesterday. Yes, they were.
He was 18 last year. That's the crazy part.
But let me ask you, Foster, did Duran have a good first game versus Miami?
Yeah. I think he's yet to have an off game, to be honest.
He's had a double-double in all 3 games, correct?
Yeah.
That's going to get scary real quick for other teams. Not for us, but
right. Yeah.
The way he played yesterday, and he played pretty good versus Charlotte, like, Man, he had 17 boards last night.
Yeah.
Man, I don't care what else you do. You got 17 boards, man.
You do something with that, can't you?
Yeah, man. The Charlotte game was frustrating. All those turnovers, man. If we can just take care of the ball, you said something real interesting yesterday too during the Chicago game. During the Chicago game where you said we'd blow teams out the water if we took care of the ball.
Yeah, and we're still beating them by 10 plus. The last two games, obviously they weren't, they felt close-ish throughout the game, but I mean, the last two teams we beat by over 10 points with all, with that, with the turnovers being what they are.
And we're doing all of this without our best shooter. Bogey's
definitely our best shooter. Well, him and Burks might have something to say about
Burke
that.
might have something to say about that. Burks is Joe Harris too, but as far as proving it on in a Pistons uniform
right now, yeah,
you got those. We'll leave it at Burks and Bogey for now. But when Bogey gets back, and I wanted to ask you this: what do you do do you bring Bogey off the bench?
I think that well, you know what? Maybe they slowly move him back into that role. So maybe that is the case, but I think revved up at our best pace. And I think you might have thrown this lineup out there too. I mean, Cade, Asar, Bogey, Stu, Duren.
Read that, Foster.
I believe that because, like I said, I look forward to when the bench come in the game because it actually, and I hate to say it, I think that has a lot to do with Killian. I mean,
let me read it for our audio.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
We're commenting on a statement that our watchers are putting up in case you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever. But Gabe says our starting lineup has been a net negative, yet we're 2-1. Tells us how elite Monty has been with rotations.
Oh, okay. I didn't even read to them. My bad.
Yeah, that was on point. Gabe also said how much a difference coaching matters. Foster, we kept saying last year, man. I think it's time for a change in direction as far as coaching. We said that. John Buck says having an identity now being defense, we can now impose our will on other teams. So now they're going to have to try to match up with us. That's true. I mean, when you have an identity, that means the players have bought into a system and they believe in a system and they're doing whatever it takes to uphold it, which develops an identity. So if as a coach and you preach rebound defense at all costs and you're doing that and you're winning games, they're going to try to execute that every single game. And you know what I'm saying? And then you get all the other joys and intangibles of the other ways to win a game. But if you're solid on those two things and have that identity and people can't beat you defensively because of your defense and they can't beat you on the boards, you know what I'm saying? It's on you as a team to lose a game as far, instead of winning. So it's, you develop an identity and thrive in it. It's a heck of a course for optimism and success. So I think the 2004 Pistons teams, that team had an identity as far as team ball. They were going to, and defense. They were going to play team ball. They didn't care about superstars. They didn't care about all-stars. They went out there and they went to work. They was going to play defense and they were going to execute.
And I feel like a lot of, when people asked about like why pay Stu, and in my thought process, because I always liked Stu, even though there were times where it was hard to really fully vouch for him, but I did say that they want Stu because of that identity, and they were like, what identity? And I couldn't really say, because our defense was so bad at the time, I couldn't even really say, oh, because we're going to be a defensive team, because we were far off from that. But it's as of now, it's making more sense. I don't want to jump out the window too quickly and say that we've arrived, but so far, people are buying into it.
I need y'all to hear me out. I kind of understood when Stewart was going after LeBron and going crazy. Now, I don't support that. I'm not saying, but it was like, you're not going to bully me. I don't care who you are.
Because
he showed backbone. And I was like, yeah, we need that. We need that. And I see why he's, they love him, because I'm sure they know more than what I can see, because they're experiencing and practicing in other games, that he's tough. He's a tough SOB, man. And you're not going to sit there and, you know what I'm saying? And you needed that. And Ben Wallace was the same kind of player as far as toughness. Like, you weren't going to go into a game and treat him like he's a scrub. You're going to have some respect, and he's not buying it. Hold on 1 second, Foster. We got to, for our listeners, you're going to hear some great, great ads. Do not go away. And we're back. That's a quick little transition, man, for our viewers, man. That's pretty dope. And our listeners that listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, they hear ads, and I'm pretty sure they get kind of frustrated with all the ads, but they pay bills. So, we got bills to pay, man. It's just not a regular podcast. We do have bills, so those ads are there for a reason, and we appreciate your patience and listening to the ads along with us. So, Foster, when's the next game?
Next game is tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Same. It's going to be the same time as the Lions game, in fact. Well, don't start at the exact same time, but.
See, man, look here. Detroit, hear me out, man. You cannot. First of all, they don't think about it, but when was the last time the Lions and the Pistons, you were optimistic about both teams?
Maybe during that Ben Wallace era, there might have been a Lions team that was good. There's
here and there, yeah. But
decent.
I mean, it's a rarity. So I can understand double booking, but look, for future reference, this Monday night game been scheduled for a while. Come on, NBA, man. Don't do that to us. Don't have the Pistons playing at the same time as the Lions on Monday night.
Football is only played on Sunday and Monday. They ain't got much to avoid, right?
You can at least avoid when the Lions are on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You can schedule that Pistons game during the day or something. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be fun.
I mean, they've done it before. I mean, probably on a holiday or something like that. But
Christmas, that's some Christmas type stuff.
Yeah, But I've seen them on, holiday type stuff, I guess. So let's see. Let's go back to our comment. We got comments. We got people active,
Sunday's
OKC is the game, right?
Yeah. He said 91.
1991, the playoff victory year, man. That's for the Lions.
Oh man, yeah, and then that was what the year after that was Bad Boy era, right?
Yeah, Bad Boy era. Yeah, they were still they got swept in 91. Still Michael Jordan, man. Jordan, Pippen, Grant swept us 91 because we won it in 89 and 90.
Right.
91 we got swept. Gabe says OKC gonna be a tough game. Interested to see K that he struggles versus them in preseason. I'm gonna tell you the problem with that OKC presents for us. They have SGA, Dort, Giddey, and the big fella. What's his name? Holmgren.
Holmgren, yeah. I mean, they're just as young and athletic as us. Like,
They're
that's
just
not a
as young.
team. The Bulls looked like Duran being guarded by Vucevic, or like physically and athletically, he was outmatched. Vucevic was like,
Mm-hmm.
they got some guy. They got Jalen Williams too. That they got two Jalen Williams, but one is
Yeah.
pretty. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, that's a tough. They're actually playing right now. They're playing right now against the Nuggets. Getting spanked by the Nuggets. But
The Nuggets are for real. That wasn't a 1-year fluke.
no, they're really
They're
they really like
good.
that. They really like that.
They're really good. They're
Yeah.
going to be really good. Like I saw them play against the first game versus the Lakers, and the Lakers were clawing back in, and every time they cut the lead down to 5 or 6, they go on a 10-0 run.
Yeah.
And they made it look easy. Like it was, man, the Nuggets look really, really good.
I like the fact that we're playing them on a back-to-back, though, after taking a thumping against the Nuggets. So maybe we can catch them. Maybe we can catch them a little, tired and sleepy.
And that game's not here, is it?
Nope. That's in.
That's too much. It would be too much traffic downtown.
Right. Yeah. They scheduled around. They like, nah, we're not making this. Even though the home opener was on a Saturday night here. Nah, they wasn't gonna do that.
Nah. You know what? That would be interesting though, to have a Pistons and Lions game same day.
Well, the Lions is gonna be the Lions was gonna sell what they was gonna sell. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about how downtown would be, the bars and everything else. That would be dope.
Yeah, it'd be lit.
Especially when now I'm sure it's happened before, but when let's say when it's happened when both teams are the optimism about both teams, because Pistons just got to Little Caesars Arena 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's new. That's fairly within the last 4.
Right. So with Ford Field downtown, downtown Detroit, and everything's there, and to have both teams doing well as far as with the optimism it is for both teams, that atmosphere downtown would be dope on game day if both of them play. You know what we gotta do? We gotta find us a bar down there, Foster.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those days when they have both games, we just gotta go down there, Detroit, and indulge.
Definitely.
Downtown. Look, if anybody out there knows of any bars or anybody that's playing, any good settings where we can watch a game, let me and Foster know in the chat or wherever you can comment at. Just let us know. We'll check it out. John Buck says Cade is an all-star.
Enduring most improved.
I'm not going to argue with that. Like at all.
It's so early though. It's so early because it's funny because when we went into the year, I mean, I wanted to looking at the roster. I'm like, this is a solid. Like
we've been saying that.
When I look at the other teams around us, like I'm thinking like, I mean, how many of these teams are we really better than? Like I don't know, but now everybody is like, oh no, it's lit. It's playing. Like everybody's riding the wave right now, but our schedule is going to get a little iffy in the next couple weeks. And I want to, as far as I love the fact that we kind of spanked on the Hornets and Bulls, we need wins like that because when we go through our little trouble, we can at least hang our hat on. We done won some games and we done won them. But yeah, we got OKC coming up. We got the Pelicans coming up. We got the Suns, the Warriors, Bucks.
Pelicans is tough. I mean, let's start there. I mean, OKC is a tough team, but Pelicans are rough. They are for real.
Yeah. But I just named you the ones in. Well, I skipped the Trailblazers because I would like to think that we can smack on them, but
they're young and athletic. All they have to do is get it together.
Yeah, but they look pretty bad.
They look pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
They look pretty bad.
But yeah, in a row: Pelicans, Suns, Warriors, Bucks, 76ers. That's and then we get a break with the Bulls after that. But right there, those are all teams. The 76ers is kind of tough to say what they gonna have going on, but those are all teams that could be in the finals.
How many games did you just say?
I named as far as after the Trailblazers, Pelicans, Suns, Warriors, Bucks, 76ers. That's 5 in a row. Those are 5 in a row. Now, some of those are at home. We play the Suns at home, play the Warriors at home, which is cool. But I'm gonna have to go to some of these games, one of these games. But yeah, that was 5 in a row of games that legitimately going into the year, you got to think we'll probably lose those games.
What are the home games?
The home games are the Trailblazers, but the Suns and Warriors, the Sun Warriors and 76ers are all home games. So we got some home games coming up in November.
Pick a game. Which one we going to?
Suns, you want to go to the Suns game?
What day is it?
Sunday. The Warriors one's on Monday. 76ers on a Friday.
Let's go to the 76ers game on a Friday.
November 10th.
November 10th.
So I feel like something going. Oh my God. I think that's Saturday though. I think I got something going on Saturday, but that Friday, yeah. The 76ers game on Friday, that might be the one.
It might be the one.
Friday.
Let's look into it.
I'll start there.
So we'll look into that game. We'll
live reaction after the 70s.
Man, what? That'd be kind of crazy.
That should be a good game though. They don't have Harden. Harden ain't going I don't know what's going on with that, but that might be a nice little game right there.
Well, I read somewhere that
Embiid versus Durant.
That's a tall task, man.
It is.
Embiid
no pun. That's a tall task, but
Embiid is incredible. He's incredible.
Think Durant ain't gonna try to show out though?
I think what it is, the big advantage that Embiid has is he can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah,
and he's patient.
He can put it on the ground. He's big. Like there's really no real way to stop him.
No.
To be honest, how do you?
And he draws fouls, so I would anticipate that will be
a Wiseman game.
Yeah, I anticipate that he would probably get in foul trouble at some point.
Bagley, you're going to throw the kitchen sink at him that day.
You got to throw the kitchen sink at him.
But that's the beauty in having all those guys. Like, yeah.
Let me ask you something, Foss.
Stu, put Stu on him, piss him off, get a tag, earn a tag.
He would abuse Stu.
Oh, he would for sure. But you know, Stu going clap him upside his head or do something silly.
Let me ask you this, man. Because I say this because John Buck just said in the comment that Booker and Beal have been out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from my understanding, Beal got hurt, and Booker had an injury as well. But I personally think that they're like kind of, because I got a feeling you'll see if those two come back and they sent Durant down for a game or two. You'll see if it's just load management. Do you see possible load management going on with the Pistons?
No, that's something for load management has a lot to do with like money, and has a lot to do with money to me, and wanting to preserve your guys. First of all, we're not good enough to load manage. You load manage when you have the opportunity to win games. You see Durant almost beat the Lakers by himself. Like, we're not in a position. First of all, we don't have stars big enough, but
right.
We're not in a position to be like, oh yeah, Cade, just sit out a game we'll let Asar Thompson shoulder the load. He's not, we don't have the ability to do stuff like that. So in the future, it would nice for us to be so good that we have players that we can sit down and continue to, flourish. But not as of yet. No, I hope it never gets like that, because that is the most frustrating. Can you imagine being buying tickets? You only can afford to go. Pistons not so much like that, but you go to a Laker game, you may be able to afford to go to one game the entire year, and you pick a game where LeBron is out with whatever they call that, the personal out of, that would be awful.
I'd be pretty pissed off if we elected to go to the Sixers game and they rested Cade, or they said Embiid is not going to play for load man. I would be kind of disappointed.
Yeah, it'd be annoying.
And I know.
That's why I didn't say the Suns game. I'm like, because Beal and Booker probably not going to play.
And I know I'd be disappointed as a fan, but those people with the parlays.
But they let you know though. You don't get set up like that.
Hey man, no. Last year I placed a couple.
You did one, and they just didn't. You just didn't know.
They didn't say. They didn't. It was game time decisions.
Oh, and they do have that GTD. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like they set, and I won on my card except for the two people that didn't play.
They didn't play. I thought there was some type of protection to that, to where where you can't be, because that gambling stuff, like you hurting the wrong people for veterans. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. And then that's the other thing. You play into the playoffs for a good 20 more games, so you really, it's more load management, or it's at the end of the year where you're shutting everybody down because you're not making the playoffs, because you're paying them $100 million. Why let them get hurt for some games that mean nothing? So, but that's mostly for your veterans, your older guys, if the games matter right now, Beal would be playing, Booker would be playing.
For sure.
It's just so early, and it doesn't matter right now. It's a long season.
You think they're gonna have load management during the tournament, the in-season tournament in Vegas?
Probably, just because those don't have playoff implications. They just have the little individual trophy implicate. Like,
yeah, but from a marketing standpoint, the whole idea is to make the games more interesting.
Yeah,
have something at stake. And if you're gonna go into that game and bench your stars, I mean, it's like, how can I sell a product if my stars aren't playing? So I'm pretty sure they probably got a little warning shot from the owners or from the league owner, say, hey, you better load management now, because you ain't doing that during my
that's why that's why they so heavy with it now.
You better do it, because you're not doing it if they not legitimately hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I can't worry about these other teams, man. I am excited about these Pistons, man. They've been playing some pretty good ball past all 3 games, man. It's just the only thing has been the turnovers versus Miami, the turnovers versus Charlotte. They turned the ball over versus Chicago. Don't get it twisted. It just wasn't at a high clip.
Only 15. Now we had 15, like you said, in one half.
First half
against
Charlotte. So, but it seems like 15 seems like a large number, especially when you're going through the motions of the game, because it's like turnover. And it's like, it's not like, it's like they happen early and often.
Yeah,
like
they come in flurries for sure.
Yeah, the first few minutes, you might have 3 turnovers, and it's like, oh, come on. Then there's, some play, and then they start to add up more, even though they're not as freaking as they were in the beginning of the game, but they always start off the game with a couple of turnovers. So I don't know, Monty, man, get on them, man. I mean, it's just time, man. You got to buckle down and take care of the ball. And
I think he understands because it's known that he specializes in playing and coaching these young guys. And I think he understands that they're going to have to bump their head and go through their growing pains. Because you don't even see him. He hasn't even really tripped. Like, I feel like Casey used to be, he used to be stressed out over there. But like, Monty be like they had throw the ball into the third row, and Monty be like, all right. He be chilling. Like, damn, he must have had him a sip in the locker room because he relaxed.
Hold that thought, Foster. A word from my sponsors. And we're back, man. We got to take care of those turnovers, man. We got to clean that up. Very good teams that we play. They're going to capitalize on the turnovers, and they're going to take care of the ball versus us. So, I don't know, man. I thought maybe I had a thought in my, like, to me, I don't see Thompson and Cade as pure point guards. And I don't think we have a real pure point guard outside of Sasser.
Well, Hayes is a point guard.
Hayes don't count.
Hey, he's got better numbers than Jalen Green right now.
Yeah. Oh man, that's heartbreaking if you're a Houston Rocket. Like,
I mean, it's so early, and he had a pretty good. It's crazy that he's now in his third year. We all remember when he was a rookie, but
boss, I used to argue with people because people were saying you should have took Jalen Green instead of Cade, and I'm like, no.
There were times where it was hard to fight that completely, especially when Cade was missing all them games. It was like I can argue, but I can't argue too hard.
That was last year.
Yeah, he would, but he was hurt the beginning of his rookie year too. He didn't start the season, I don't think. Did he?
I don't know, man. But when you get to Detroit, you got to get used to the chili cheese fries, man.
That'll slow you down.
That'll slow you down, man. He's vegan, so that can't be it.
I forgot about that. He is vegan.
He's vegan, man. So
I forgot. He found a way to put on that weight.
He put on some weight though. He's 230. And
which is so you don't even really see it on him.
He was 215, 210 when so
Jalen Green is the twig. That dude's still like $180, $190.
I expect more out of Houston, man. I don't know what's going on with Houston.
They even got the coach. They figured like, okay, Silas, he wasn't the guy for the job. He's with us now. We rock with him. But
cheater.
But Udoka, I haven't watched them play though. I just seen highlights and scores and stuff like that. So I don't know what they got going on over there. I don't. This might have been a misquote, but I saw somebody say that Dylan Brooks said that Wembanyama isn't that good. He's just tall. I'm like, bro, I know you didn't say that.
John, this like made my Sunday here. John says, first time watching you guys. Love the show, fellas. Thumbs up. That speaks volumes, man. I mean, we appreciate it. We appreciate you tuning in. Spread the word, John. You know what I'm saying? Share it on your socials. Do whatever. We appreciate it, man. And me and Foster we've been doing podcasts and for a few years. We just stepped out and decided to do sports. We did battle rap podcasts in the very beginning when we first started doing shows like this. And we realized we talk sports so much outside of here. We're like, why don't we do a sports podcast? And so I reached out to the good people at Motor City Metrics, and we found a spot where we are fortunate to have a person like yourself, John, to tune in, and we appreciate it. With our network of people, we probably on our old channel, we probably wouldn't have been able to reach John, It has
Probably
everything to do with Motor City Metrics, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to do our sports podcast at an established YouTube channel that has sports. And if you're if you're listening to us and you want to check out anything Detroit Tigers related, we also have on this channel another Pistons show. They're gonna, like I said, they do stuff totally different, and they're gonna cover some things that we're not gonna cover, and vice versa. Go to Motor City Metrics, check it out. That's John and his show. I forgot the name of it. No offense, I am sorry. No disrespect intended. But come, check out Motor City Metrics. You can check out the Tigers podcast here. You can check out Bleachers the Speakers. They talk about the Lions. Not they. Me and Foster talk about the Lions. Me and Foster does Bleachers the Speakers. Every Monday night. It won't happen this Monday night because the game is Monday night, but the show will go on Tuesday where we're going to review the game versus the Raiders on Monday Night Football. I don't know when our next Pistons show is going to be because we usually do it on Thursday, but after last night's game, Foster said, "Hey man, we got to do a show." Like we was ready to go last night. Like let's get to it. Like I was hyped. Like at what point in the fourth quarter did you say this is it? Because there was a particular player I said, "No, they ain't coming back."
Was it something specific? I don't know. It was a whole bunch of dunks and
it was. I think it was the putback by Duran. I think Stewart missed a shot underneath the rim. And Duran came out of nowhere and tip dunked. And it was like, yes, it's going to be over. That because it looked like it was just, there's no way they're going to lose this game. Right. These guys are. And then it just went up from there. Like, there's no way they're going to lose this game.
That boy Zach LaVine got
Hey. Foster, you text me in the first quarter like he can't keep doing this all game.
I was hoping. I was more hoping than anything.
There's no way. At some point he has to stop, but he didn't.
50 points, man. That is a lot.
51. He had 24 in the first quarter.
You know, they had two guys on that starting lineup that didn't score a single point. Pat Williams and Kobe White did not score a single point the entire game. Zero.
Zach took them.
Nah, they had their chances, man.
They had their chances, but when you're on like that, because he was on early, his first bucket was a step back three.
A whole bunch of them were like that, but yeah.
I mean, you just know somebody's on when they do a step back three with a defender and they hit nothing. It didn't hit rim at all. It went right through, and I was like, oh. Then he got another mid range. Next thing you know, he has 7 points. He had another bucket. He has 7 points. I'm like, he's not missing.
I couldn't knock the defense. The defense was pretty good for most of the game on him. Asar got a block on him though, a nice on a jump shot.
Yeah. That was at the end of the game. That was near the end of the game.
Towards the end, yeah.
But that was after he had 40-something points.
He had already,
The damage was done.
Yeah.
The damage was done, but I felt so much better having a team effort than you had one person on their team going crazy. And he had DeRozan had a little bit of support. I think he had like 17 points, something like that.
Some, yeah.
But it was like you have Stewart. He had a double. He scored in double digits. You had Cade had 25. Burks double digit scoring. Duran double digit scoring. Like it was like I'd rather have 3 or 4 people than that one just hitting 50. Like that's one of those situations where you say, okay, nobody else is gonna beat us. He can get down if he want to.
Yeah.
Let him score. You know what I'm saying?
We probably didn't do enough getting the ball out of his hands. Now that I think about
they
it,
didn't even try to get the ball out of his hand. They
because that's
let
what they
him
do to
get his
Cade.
spots. That's what they run out to Cade when he's at half court, and they trap him. They make sure, and that's starting to annoy me as well because they're doing it now. Chicago didn't do it,
right?
But Charlotte did it very, very well. They defended Cade very well. They ran two people at him and they trapped him, and they didn't. It seemed like the Pistons didn't know how to react. Somebody got to go. What has to happen? Two things have to happen. Somebody else has to see that happening and go help.
Yeah.
Cade has to see that help and run away from that second defender.
Well, ideally, but yeah, you gotta. you just gotta figure out a safety valve, or however you want to call it.
Now, running away from the defender is not an easy task, but Jordan used to do it so well, but that's Jordan. But Jordan would run away.
Got to have a Kerr. Got to have a Kerr. Got to have a Pippen. Got to have a Harper.
Yeah.
You got to have Kukoc. Woo.
Yeah, but he would split them or run away from it and get away from that trap, and he would get rid of the ball on his own accord. Yeah. You didn't force him.
Yeah,
he get away from that trap, and then you had two people. Somebody's open. So I'm very excited. The next game is tomorrow. What time is the game?
8:00.
That means I'm going to have to get home from the Monday Night Football game and rewatch it.
You'll go, yeah.
Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Pistons lose, I'm just going to read the box score and watch highlights.
You don't want to watch it.
If I know they lost, I don't need to watch it. I don't need to watch it. I can watch there's a YouTube channel that shows all the highlights.
But the House of Highlights?
Google shows all the highlights. And I'll read the box score and get a good idea. I don't want to see them lose.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody intentionally sitting down to watch them lose. Knowing they lost. Nah.
So, but if they win, I'll definitely watch. I'll watch it. Or while I'm working Tuesday, I'll turn it on and listen. So, because I save, I tape the games. I tape every game. So, but that about wrap it up for the day. Foster, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I hope that we can kind of keep the same momentum. We got some tough games coming up. So hopefully we can make some games competitive. It's early. Everybody's excited. I don't know if it's the trickle down enthusiasm of the Red Wings and the Lions. I'm all for it, but we'll just continue to see how things go. Every day I feel like we're getting more healthy. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I'm really excited from Livers and Bogey and Morris. Those are three guys that all can shoot the basketball, and that's really what we need outside of just that veteran presence of taking care of the ball better. But I want to see Joe Harris get some more shots up because right now he's just not. I feel like he's just not getting the ball where he needs. Because I feel like once he gets it up, it sure as hell looks like it's going in the basket. And he's got a couple threes to fall, but if it ain't a corner three, I haven't seen him take it. So, I think that he can still be, because I think he got 11 minutes yesterday, and I think they tried to play him alongside Cade a little bit just because. That's the perfect guy to have next to him. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to see when Wiseman will get in the game. Like I knew that he was out of the rotation of Bag. I knew that Bagley beat him out for that spot, but we gotta see him play eventually, right?
We was hoping we see him play more. We hoped that he would get here and give him a fresh start, second chance.
Yeah. Long year, though.
It's
He's
long,
still
yeah.
got plenty opportunities. We know that, knock on wood, some injuries are going to happen. So he's going to get an opportunity eventually. But I do kind of want to see him play in some regular season games that aren't, end of last year, half the teams tanking, playing their G League players and stuff like that. I do want to see what he can bring to us because he's a lottery pick. We traded for him.
Use him.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's working fine. Bagley's doing well. Stewart's doing well. Duren's doing amazing. So I'm not sweating it. But I think Harris is our backup power forward right now. Who's our backup power forward?
That can't be.
It's Harris.
That's what it is, but that can't. No. Not if you have Wiseman on the bench.
I mean, they say he can't really play with Bagley like that. It just doesn't work. But Harris, I think Harris's ability to shoot is what makes it make sense. It's not so much his defensive ability.
No, he's cooked on defense.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see where we're at after these next couple of games. We definitely got some tough teams coming up, and Lions, Detroit sports is all right now.
I don't have my Detroit basketball button, but
okay, yeah, we ain't got the full setup. Okay,
I'll be in the full setup after tomorrow. I had a little construction going on, but yeah, I'll be back to the regular ASG studios. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be back. I'll be back, and I'll have my Detroit basketball. You know what I'm saying? I have that. So that about wraps it up, Foster. We're going to get out of here, man. You enjoy your Sunday, and the people out there, thank you for – we have a comment. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we appreciate the support, man.
John Buck asks, Wiseman for Hurt Adams? No.
He's out for the year?
No, it's not that. It's not that bad.
Ain't that serious?
No. Later. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, man.